That was excellent, and it really tied back, I think, to Howard's original initial presentation. Consumer engagement is engagement with real consumers, not an image of the consumer. And I think that image of the resource management is going to stay with me and get referenced in future. I think that was very insightful. To close the loop on this morning's presentations, we now have Martin Haeussler. I apologize for, I'm sure Martin will correct me when he gets up. So a little bit more now about where technology fits into the picture we've painted today and how it can sort of address some of the issues that we've raised. Martin, please.
Yeah, good morning from my side. Yeah, my name is Martin Haeussler. It's quite difficult. It's a German name, and it's not that easy in the rest of Europe and the rest of the world. First of all, I have to apologize. We had to change due to technical problems my PowerPoint presentation to PDF, but I hope that everybody can read and understand me. I'm responsible at Deutsche Telekom in a new area, a strategic area, energy, and I'm responsible for energy efficiency. Maybe a few sentences, why Deutsche Telekom, why a telecom and IT company has set up a strategic area for energy. We believe that the challenges of the utility sector will be an interesting market for a telecom and IT company like Deutsche Telekom, and that from our know-how as a IT company, we should be able to support utilities and all other sectors who are engaged in energy efficiency to reach their goals. As I said, we have started the strategic area 2 years ago. You will find us in the exhibition hall also, where we present most of the solutions around smart metering, meter data management, but also energy efficiency that I will present to you based on these slides. Let me just jump to the introduction. So, how the title is how to reach the how to reach the set of energy goals based on innovative IT solutions. We as an IT company are huge energy or have a huge energy consumption also, and so energy efficiency is quite necessary for us as Deutsche Telekom. But we also see that a lot of companies, especially enterprises, have different motives to set up energy efficiency initiatives to reach their goals. Howard asked a few presentations before the question, can a utility company help with energy efficiency? Especially in Europe, utilities are forced by regulation to support their customers with energy efficiency in the future. And yeah, business customers also have a motive to reduce their energy cost, and all what they need is transparency. Transparency on the consumption, transparency what's going on in the company, what's going on with the assets, and therefore they need professional IT solutions to increase transparency, not only based on smart meters, also based on not only based on smart meters for the buildings, also based on sensors, for example, for their corporate assets, for the IT infrastructure, and so on. Just to give you an overview, what we as Deutsche Telekom have developed to support our customers with energy efficiency. Lots of customers need, at the first step, consulting services to set up, for example, the ISO 50001, which is requested, for example, by the new EU directive on energy efficiency in a lot of countries to get tax discounts on energy taxes, for example, in the future. And that's the reason why a lot of enterprises are looking for certified energy management systems. There we can support with consulting services. The two IT solutions I would like to concentrate on in my presentation are the two at the bottom of the sheet. So energy efficiency management for buildings, just to give you an impression about the solutions over there, but also energy efficiency in the IT infrastructure. I've learned a few years ago on a presentation of TÜV Rheinland in Germany that a lot of companies had set up green IT initiatives, especially in the data centers. But there's still a lot of potential available in the rest of the IT infrastructure, and I think now the time is right to have solutions for the rest of the IT infrastructure also, which I would like to show you over here, just an impression. In Germany, we have around about 31 million employees who work within PC, but only 56 switch the PC off after work. That means around about 44% leave it switched on. So there's a huge potential in the decentralized IT infrastructure to gain, to increase energy efficiency also. There's just one example. If there are 1,000 employees in a company, the savings could be very interesting for companies to set up energy efficiency tools in the IT infrastructure. And what we've learned inside Deutsche Telekom also, it could be a way to set up initiatives in the casino in the lunchtime to give the employees a hint and information to change their behavior, but in a long-term perspective, you need a tool to support them, because after a few weeks, the business is as usual, and energy efficiency can only be reached sustainable by IT tools. What does that mean? With an IT tool, we can support to set up a holistic energy efficiency for the IT infrastructure. That means, on the one hand side, to integrate data centers, routers, switches, servers on the one hand side, but also the decentralized IT infrastructure in an office network. So it's possible to include, for example, any workplace PC, the voice over IP phone, but also access points in an holistic energy efficiency management. Based on the management console, the energy, the people who are responsible for the energy management, the IT maybe who is responsible for energy management, will get transparency, what's going on in the IT infrastructure, how many devices are inside the IT infrastructure, are there any old devices, are there any devices with low utilization or no utilization, and what can be the best initiatives to set up energy efficiency. At the end of the day, it's also possible to set roles to manage the IT infrastructure under energy efficiency aspects automatically. There are several customers, for example Daimler, they had rolled out such a tool in the plants, 22 plants in Germany, to manage thousands of workplace PCs or PCs in the production also. But there are further customers where the IT has a huge amount on energy consumption, like banks or like other service companies, and they're quite interested in managing the IT in a holistic way. Another aspect we are also showing here at the fair is the energy efficiency aspect management for buildings. We as Deutsche Telekom, and that was our challenge a few years ago, we have several thousand buildings all over Germany, and also several thousand building automation systems, but no centralized view on consumption, on status, on incidents, and that was the reason why we've developed a consolidating layer, a system that lies over all the building automation systems and collects all the important data from all the facilities. Just to give you an impression, what companies has reached for results based on IT, energy efficiency solutions. There's one retailer, for example, who has implemented an energy management system, and after 2 years he could reach 24% energy savings, not only on energy consumption on its own, also on avoiding load peaks, for example, just by implementing initiatives for the low-hanging fruits. And it was only possible after he had set up a tool that supports him with transparency on all his retail stores. Another aspect is from our own garages at Deutsche Telekom, based on sensors, based on smart meters. We've supported the business case for initiative to change the normal lighting to LED lighting, and the first aspect was that all the lights were switched on 24 hours, 7 days a week, and that was only discovered based on the meter data information. And after changing the technique, after changing the LEDs, 70% of savings were possible, but it was only the business case was supported by an IT-based system. Just to give you a better idea, better understanding about the solution, about the challenges of Deutsche Telekom. As I mentioned before, around about 8,000 buildings at the moment are integrated in that centralized management system. Every building on its own has a campus solution for building automation, but there was no centralized view on all the important information like consumption, like status, like incidents, and that was the reason why that centralized tool in the middle was developed. And we have several customers who are using or who are requesting a tool like this because they have set up building automation systems in the past, but they have the same challenge like Deutsche Telekom, that they can't centralize the information in an energy management, for example, and that's the reason why we're supporting them with that solution. So you have a data concentrator in the facility that collects all the information from existing sensors, from existing meters, from building automation system, and the information will be transmitted to the centralized platform. It's called Active Operation in a data center of Deutsche Telekom, and via web front end a customer or the employees of the customer, but also external service providers have the possibility to get the information they need to get transparency on consumption, on status, on incidents. Also an intelligent alarming is integrated, so in case of any alarms or incidents or limit violations, a service provider, a house technician or whatever will get the information so that he can work on this incident. And sorry, I've lost that he can work on that incident and manage the building, manage the facility based on this information. As I said before, not only enterprises are interested in energy efficiency management tools. The reasons for an enterprise, for a business customer, as I mentioned before, is the reduction of operating costs, and that means on the one hand side energy consumption, but that could also mean reduction on service costs, for example. Based on the IT solution, here's the possibility to increase enterprise-wide transparency on consumption, on status of facilities, but also of corporate assets. Here's the possibility to use this information before new invests and whatever. But you also have the possibility to manage concrete initiatives based on the information that are provided by an IT-based system. And last but not least, if a company needs to be certified based on the ISO 50001 standard, such a system can also help to increase the transparency he needs for the certification. From a utility perspective, it's also interesting to use such systems. As I mentioned before, there's utilities in Europe are forced to support their customers with energy efficiency, and so they also need information on the status on consumption, what's going on inside the customer's company. But they also have the possibility to set up new businesses for their end customers. One example could be contracting services for corporate assets, for utility assets inside a business company, a business customer, and therefore you need also tools that support him to manage the services. And last but not least, transparency on the consumers or customers' utilization can also help him to set up new tariffs or new services for his end customers. From my side, just a short overview. If you like to visit us, we are in the exhibition hall and we can give you much more details on our solutions for energy efficiency. Thank you so much.